So it's the next part of the declutter, and today I'm going to declutter my face products, starting with this bin right here, which is my foundations. And I have two setting sprays, a primer and a powder in here as well, because I just needed to store them, carrying them over, but they are going to be in a different part, so I'm just going to move those out of the way. In this bin I have my foundations, concealers and BB creams. I'm just going to take them out and we're going to go through all of them. Oh, that bin is dirty, so I'm going to have to clean through this. But I'm going to start with my foundations, and I have the Clinique Super Balanced Makeup in the shade Alabaster, and this I am keeping, and I love the shade. It's a bit too dark for me in the winter time, but I do love the finish and the consistency of the foundation. I also have my NARS Sheer Glow, and this is in the shade Light 3, which is Gobi. I also have a puppy who might be interrupting, and I'm also keeping this. Come on, how do? Yeah. Say hey. Oh, blah, oh, blah, oh, whoops. So, do you see that? Yeah. I also have my L'Oreal True Match foundation in Rose Ivory, and I am going to keep this because I'm going to use it up. I don't think there's too much left because I've been using this a lot. So I'm going to keep this, but I do think next time I'm going to buy this foundation I'm going to look at the second lightest shade, because I think that is a bit more yellow toned, but I'm keeping this for now. I am not keeping the Body Shop Tea Tree Flawless BB Cream because I just hate this product so much. It's in the 01 shade, which I believe is the lightest, but this is super orange and dark on me. It has no coverage on my skin at all, and it's really patchy and streaky, and it just does not look good, so I'm not keeping that. I will also be keeping my Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation Stick in the shade Alabaster, which is the lightest one. Puppy interruption, I will move her in a second. I am still on the fence about this product. I don't think it looks the best on me, but I'm going to keep trying it out for a little longer. So this is also staying, as is I think the rest of these products, which are mostly concealers and one corrector, and the corrector is from Bobbi Brown in the shade Extra Light Bisque, and that's definitely staying. Both of these ones, which are the L'Oreal True Match in the shade Ivory and the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Fair. If you have a sort of yellow toned concealer that isn't as yellow as the True Match one, I would love to hear your suggestions in the comments, because I find this is a bit too yellow, but it's the closest one I have that I can use for any of my sort of yellow toned foundations, and it is pretty nice. Also keeping my MAC Pro Longwear, and I absolutely love this. I'm tempted to buy this in NC15 because I think that would be a gorgeous shade on me in the winter. The puppy's just playing with makeup on the side here, but I'm going to keep this because this is NW20, which is my summer shade, and I do love it a lot. I'm also keeping my Art Deco Perfect Taint Concealer in the shade 3. This is alright. I do usually use this when I'm wearing any of my foundations that are a bit too dark, so particularly the Bourjois 123 CC cream, but also in the summer when I have a bit more of a tan, and I have used quite a bit of this up. There is not too much product left, so I'm keeping this. This is the one I'm a bit on the fence about. It's my MAC Studio Finish Concealer in the shade NW15, and I liked this in the beginning. Let me move the puppy. I liked this in the beginning quite a lot. It's pretty nice coverage, it covers a lot, but I do think, nah Lucy, it's a bit too dry on me now, which is a bit funny because my skin is oily combination with a bit of dry patches here and there, but I do think this might be a bit too dry. I might keep it and play around with it a little bit to see, but if not, I'm going to give this away to my sister because I think this is the shade that will fit her nicely. So in my foundation pile I am giving away one product. I have one which is sort of maybe product I'm going to play around and try it a little bit, but if not, it's going to go. And I am keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 products, in which 5 of them are actually concealers and 5 are foundation type products, and I think that's alright because I do use everything in here and I like everything sort of alright, so I'm keeping that. Next up is my primers and powders bin, and I am going to also throw in my setting sprays in here. I'm just going to empty this and we're going to get started. So, I know for a fact I'm not going to get rid of any of my setting sprays, and these are both from NYX. It's the Dewy and Matte Finish. These are both staying. Also keeping my Nivea Men Moisturising Aftershave Balm, because I do like this a lot. Is everything in focus? I have to check because the camera is a bit far away from me. I'm also keeping my Kix translucent powder. This is a lovely translucent powder that keeps my skin matte. It's a bit drying when I use it all over my face, and I've used a lot of it, as you can see, but I do like it a lot. So that is also staying. I'm also keeping my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. The colours on the sides are both too dark for me in the winter, but I tend to mix the middle one with the one on the left, which is the shimmery ones, and that forms a nice highlight. And I love this one underneath my eyes for kicking off bake. This is a bit too dark to the point where I can actually use it to bronze and contour my face, but it works nice in the summer. But I'm loving this palette at the moment, so I'm definitely keeping this. Now for the primers, I am going to keep my Smashbox Photo Finish in the Colour Correcting Adjust, which is the green one. I don't think this is very colour correcting because I have a lot of redness in my skin, and I don't think this works well for colour correcting it, but I do like it as a primer, so this is staying. Puppy! Sit. Yeah. Pretty. So yeah, neat. This powder from Rimmel is all gone. I'm going to toss this. The second this is done, I've literally been scraping the sides of this because I love it so much and I can't get it easily in Norway, but I think I'm going to order some of this so that I have a new one and a couple backups, maybe even for a giveaway if anyone is interested. I am also on the fence about this one. This is the e.l.f. Mineral Booster in the shade Sheer. Loved this when I first got it, and I do still use it occasionally, but it's been taken over by the Kix one because I prefer it. This leaves my skin super nice and silky, and I absolutely wish they had a lighter shade. So yeah, I'm not sure. I might give this to my sister to try it. If she likes it, she can keep it and that kind of stuff, because I just don't reach for it. It's a bit too pink and dark on most of my foundations, so I do think I'm going to give this away. As for this one, this is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. I don't have a lot of pores, so I'm not really sure why I bought this, but I heard a lot of good things about this online, and I do think this is a bit too sort of silicone-y and slippery on my skin, so I'm also going to give this to my sister or my mum to play around with and for them to keep if they like it. So in this category I got rid of actually like 2 products more than I expected, because I was only planning to get rid of the Rimmel one, but I am also getting rid of 1 primer and another powder. I am keeping 2 setting sprays, 2 primers, my Hourglass palette and 1 translucent powder, and I got rid of a couple more products than I expected. Yep, like that, I did that. So I'm very happy with that. Next up, I'm going to take my blush bin. This is all my powder blushes, so I'm just going to empty them out so we can get started. So, in here I have my NYC Colour Wheel Mosaic Face Powder in Pink Cheek Glow. This is staying. I think this is such a gorgeous blush, so I'm definitely keeping this. Also keeping both of my Milani Baked blushes. I have the shade Bella Rosa and Dolce Pink, or Dolce Pink. I love those. I have an H&M blush in Cantaloupe, and this is their Pure Radiance Powder Blush. And I think this is such a nice soft blush for very fair skin, and this just fits me perfectly, so I like this a lot. Also keeping my Flower Transforming Touch Powder to Cream Blush, and I think this looks gorgeous. It's in the shade Coral, which is just a nice sort of pinkish coral shade, but I like this a lot. I'm also keeping my Tarte blush. This is in the shade Natural Beauty, and it's super scary in the pan, but it looks really nice and natural on the face. I am giving away my Rimmel blush because I don't reach for it anymore, and it is a super gorgeous shade, and it's one of the first actual blushes that I got. Let me see if I can give you a little swatch on my hand there. It's a super pretty shade, but I just don't reach for it anymore, so I'm going to give that away. This one is also fairly new. I bought this recently and it's the Maybelline Master Highlight in the shade Light Bronze. And I do love all the shades in here, but I'm not sure if this is too dark for me to be a highlighter. It's also very glittery. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's there. But I am going to keep this, play around with it a little bit more because I do enjoy it. But yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with it because I do think it's a bit too dark for me to be able to use as a highlighter, but I like using it as sort of a blush topper and just sort of as a blush as well actually, so I'm going to keep that. I'm also going to do my cream products because I have a couple of bronzers and stuff in here as well, bronzers, blushes. I am keeping my Sephora Blush Me in the shade All Smiles, which is the 01, because I like this a lot. Keeping Benefit High Beam because I think it's a nice highlighter. It's a bit tricky for me to use and I have struggled a lot with this, but I have recently found a way which I absolutely love it, so I'm definitely keeping that for further playing around. Getting rid of my Makeup Mecca Golden Glory Luminous Cream Highlighter, which is a sort of gold one, but it's a bit too dry on my skin and I just don't reach for it. It's on that side on my arm, if you can see, so I'm going to give that away. I am sort of stuck between these two. I have a Topshop cream blush and I have a Max Factor cream blush, and they are pretty much like identical colours, but I think I'm going to get rid of the Max Factor one because it's the oldest, and I'm going to keep the Topshop. And then lastly, my last bin is my palettes and bronzers. And the easy thing for me to say here is I'm keeping all of them. I'm keeping my Isadora Face Sculptor in Warm Peach because I absolutely love the blush and the highlighter. I've actually made a dent in the highlighter because I think the Isadora highlighters are gorgeous. The bronzer is a bit too warm for me at the moment, but I do like it in the summers, so I'm keeping that. Also keeping my Sleek Makeup Blush by 3 palette in the shade Lace, which is just full of warm orangey blushes, and I think they are pretty gorgeous. I have my e.l.f. contour and bronzing powder in the shade Saint Lucia, and I like the bronzer. Pardon me. I like the bronzer. I think the blush is a bit too glittery, but it works sometimes, so I'm also keeping this. But I'm going to see how much I use this though, because the bronzer is very dark on me. So for some of the base products and foundations it becomes way too dark and a bit too muddy, but if I don't use it I'm going to give this to my sister because she loves it, so I'm keeping that for now. I'm also keeping my Flower Blush Bronzer Duo in the shade Beachy Keen. It's just a nice bronzer and a blush. And I have 2 bronzers here, and I have my Body Shop one, which is the bronzing powder in the shade Light Matte. As you can see, I've hit pan quite a lot on this, and I have a goal to use this up within 2017, so this is definitely staying. As for this one, this was given to me as a gift, and it's by Badge Quo, I believe, and it is very, very dark compared to my Body Shop one. It's very dark and it's a lot more orange, and also has a bit of shimmer to it. I am unsure whether or not to keep this because it is darker. It's a bit too dark and orange for me, at least during the winter, and I just tend to reach for my Body Shop one more, so I do think I'm actually going to get rid of that. So yeah, I am actually surprised with myself because I got rid of more products than I had originally planned. And for my blush and bronzer highlight stuff, I'm getting rid of 1 powder blush, 1 powder bronzer, and 1 cream blush and a cream highlighter. I said in the first part of the video that I had already gone through my makeup a little bit ago and got rid of a couple of products that I didn't like. One of them is the Mary Kay Mineral Powder Foundation in Beige 1. This is actually my mum's, so she's going to get it back. I took it sort of to try, but it's way too dark for me, so I'm not going to keep that. I'm also going to get rid of a travel size of the Shopping Time perfume that I got for Christmas. I have the bigger one and I just reach for that more than I do the little one. I'm going to get rid of this Raspberry Smoothie lip gloss because I'm also going to get rid of this L'Oreal lip gloss. This is the Glam Shine Gloss Brilliance 6 Hours in the shade Always Pink because I just don't reach for it. I'm also going to get rid of my Rimmel Hide the Blemish Concealer in the shade Ivory. I hate this one. It's so creamy, difficult to blend, and creases a lot on me, and I just don't like it. I'm going to get rid of this The Colour Workshop Lip Shine, which is a clear sort of lip gloss thing in a balm type state. I'm not sure what to say, but I don't reach for it, so I'm not going to keep it. I'm also going to get rid of this powder blush because I don't reach for it. And I have 2 more lip glosses here. Both of these were this is from the Colour Workshop, this one right here. And I had this in 3 other shades, 2 pink shades and a red one that my sister and my mum already had a go at. And I'm also going to get rid of this one because I don't reach for them. I do love the Sunshine Glory hand creams, but the Smoothie Star has a sort of almond type scent. And I am allergic to almonds, and this gives me sort of a reaction. My throat closes up and I can't breathe properly, so I am not keeping that. And let me move the puppy a little bit because she gets in the way. Legs there? Yeah, can do leg there. Yeah. I then have a bronzing powder thing. This is also from Badge Quo. It was in the same kit as this bronzer, which you can probably tell by the logo on the top. This lip gloss I think also came from that kit. But this is really shimmery. I did test this out not too long ago and it's really, really nice. Let me see if I can swatch it for you. It's got those... Whoop. We just move the puppy so she doesn't get makeup all over her because I don't think my mum would be too happy. But it's got these like balls. It's all those little ones, and I have smashed a couple. But it's really sheer. That's what I found, and I've been swatching this a little bit. It's really sheer, but it's very orangey kind of glow. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this. I just don't reach for it, so this is also going. But along with these ones, I also add this to the list from this video. And the earlier part of this video, they have been filmed on different days, so all of the eyes and lip stuff have already been given to my mum and sister, who literally took everything except for the black eyeshadow, which I ended up throwing away because none of them wanted it. But this is now going to be up for grabs for them, and I'm pretty happy. I didn't downsize my collection too much, and I didn't have a goal of sort of cutting it in half, as I've seen a lot of other YouTubers have with this kind of decluttering series. But I don't have as much makeup as they do. I am very confident and happy with my collection because it is small enough to the point where I can use everything, but also big enough to the point where I am able to experiment with a lot of different colours and textures and a lot of different brands and products. If you have any tips for me for any products I should get, let me know in the comments below. And I want to ask specifically if you know of a foundation which has the same finish as the NARS Sheer Glow but better coverage. Let me know in the comments because I find that the coverage on my NARS Sheer Glow foundation is very, very poor compared to the price. So yeah, but if you have any tips for me, if you have any products that you think I would like and that you would recommend, let me know in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this declutter series, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye!